Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a bonus full moon and lunar eclipse for the month of March tarot oracle reading. And Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not in Virgo, we still all have a little bit of Virgo in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Virgo in, that's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. So just keep in mind it's a general or collective reading. Parts may resonate and parts may not. Keep what works and leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was happening in your life at that time? It may give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the tarot portion of this reading, which is about the first 2/3. And this is the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords energy is coming in quite often right now, just because of the time that we're at. We, with the eclipses and the energy of moving into the new year on the 17th of February. But this represents, sometimes it can represent a never-ending nightmare, and other times it can represent enlightenment in the wee hours of the morning. When the Holy Spirit comes upon us, and what happens is usually that's between 2 and 4 a.m. and we get enlightenment in our dreams, or we get a thought or whatever and wake up, aha, now I know what to do. It's enlightenment from source energy. This quilt on the bed here has cosmic symbols on it saying, hey, you're covered by the universe. And sometimes it can just mean like really being very, very bored. And so we have, okay, so for the underlying energy for the internal forces, we have the Tower. Now the Tower represents, of course, it doesn't look like we're off to a great start, Virgo, but really this kind of is normal for eclipse energy, so don't panic yet. The Tower is a reality check that we need to have. So the way this happens is, at first the universe, is trying to reach us. So that's the energy I'm getting here. The universe is trying to reach us to let us know, okay, this is what you need to do, but we aren't able to understand it or hear it. At first the universe will start off with a whisper, hey, you might want to take a look at that. And then if we don't respond, then the universe gets the frying pan out and whacks us over the head with it and says, hey, you need to look at this. And we go, oh, okay, like I'll look at it, but I'll do it in a week because I just have so much on my plate. And then a week goes by and we don't get it. We don't do anything about it. So the universe takes out the 2x4. The 2x4 doesn't work, and then we have to have the lightning hit our tower. And so it's that kind of energy. So whenever the reality check comes, the tower hits, it always is at an unexpected time, and it's usually at the worst time. We're always thinking, oh, it couldn't have happened at a worst possible time. That's just the energy of it. There was no good time for this to happen, basically, and that's why. But now the good thing is the truth is coming out, and you're going to have to deal with it, and then you won't be in this energy anymore. You'll be more in an energy of moving forward. These two people are falling out of the tower, and one of them is really shocked, and the other one's like, oh, I thought this might be coming. So it's that kind of energy. We'll see. Let's see what this is about. So for the beginning, oops, sorry, I have my deck. No, it's not upside down. Okay, for the beginning of this internal forces, we're off to a really good start. This is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is the most money, the most happiness, wealth, that you can have on the 3D. This is actually representing lifestyle. You could have all the money you want in the world, but it wouldn't, you might not have the lifestyle that you're living. or that you're wanting to live. And so the Ten of Pentacles represents like there's a lot of money coming in with ease. There's you have your partner that you really enjoy. You have 2 children that you love. You have the pets that you love. You're in a neighborhood with a home that you are really enjoying. Your career is going well, and you even have time to stop and chat with the neighbors. Sometimes this can also represent some sort of information coming in from out of the blue kind of energy, which could be to do with this. Okay, at this time, okay, the pentacles are there and the lifestyle's there, but you're walking away. So this is representing someone walking away from something that they've put a lot of energy into, and the cups represent love, and most foremost the romantic love. And so this can 8 of Pentacles. I mean, there's only 10. And to be in this position and be walking away, something major must have happened here. And you'll notice we do have the new moon and the full moon here, which I feel represents this eclipse season that we're in. There's 8 cups here, and this is saying I'm done, I'm walking away. Even though I've put all this energy, all this time, all this effort into this, it's not worth it, what it's doing to me, and I'm out of here. Okay, so that's a pretty drastic move here. We'll just look a little bit more. What's this about? See if we can figure it out. Okay, so we have this opportunities coming in here. So are you leaving because you have opportunities that you didn't have before? This is talking about the 7 of Cups. And I mean, if this must be like a lot of opportunity if you're willing to walk away from this to have that. Or something's going on here. This represents like 7 different cups that you have access to that are basically, this is gifts from the universe for you to enjoy. There's, each of these cups has something different in it. And the thing is, these cups are possibilities, and sometimes possibilities are disguised as challenges. So some of these cups might be more challenging than the other, but there's even more opportunity in them. You're like a black hole that's at the center of your universe, and this stuff is spinning in towards you, all this opportunity coming towards you. It's interesting why you're walking away from this, though. We're going to keep going here. We have you, this is representing, again, the Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is the only card out of all the Pentacles where the person is actually working on the physical coin. So this isn't just about lifestyle. This is about making money, like specifically. The person's actually pounding out on a coin. So this is talking either you started a project and you have 6 Pentacles done, you're working on the 7th and you have 1 to go, or you have just began this and you're on the 2nd Pentacle and have 6 to go. This is saying that you're very focused on making money at this time, and that's the energy. We have the King of Wands coming in. So this is like the first indication of your energy, like of who you are, like as a person rather than an energy. And this is talking about the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is considered to be the sexiest of all the kings. He's a lot of fun to be around. He's a visionary, so he really looks into the future and brings that which is just thoughts down to earth and manifests it. He is quite often considered the life of the party, very charming. He's the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's very charming, and you could forgive him for almost anything. As I said, a lot of fun to be with. He has this energy here of, in the background, the salamanders with the circular tail and the lion represent protection from fire, because that's the element here. So his wand is made of wood, and he is very passionate. And this is talking, so as a visionary, sometimes he has a tendency to have a roving eye when it comes to matters of love, because he's always looking into the future and he's always looking for new projects, basically. So sometimes I noticed a while back that this on the back of his throne here, it almost looks like there's a face there with two eyes and a nose with smoke coming out of it. And now I can't unsee it, and smoke coming here. So this could just say, yeah, this is the king of a king of pentacles has come into your life, or you are the king of pentacles and you're smoking hot. Or it could mean where there's smoke, there's fire. So there could have been something that happened. Yes, because we have multitasking here. And so the multitasking energy is someone who's very busy, but it's talking about like, you know, infinitely juggling, like kind of this energy. So when you're multitasking, if you're multitasking, you have, you know, it's a good skill to have, but you can multitask to the point where you have more quantity than quality, then it's gone too far, because you end up having to repeat work and do it over again. Also, this energy can be talking about someone who is juggling. And this could be juggling options, you know, and in love, it can be juggling options and morals, etc. Of all the kings, this one would be the most likely to be a player, like to be playing the field, which is fine if he's single. But if he's not single and he's your partner, or you are the partner walking away, then this could be represented by this energy. Now, this card says, juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And so this is the energy we have coming in. We're just going to take a look for internal forces here. This is how you identify with yourself right now, as someone who has the perfect lifestyle. You have it all. This is abundance and self-worth, but you're walking away, or someone's walking away from you. That could be the energy. We have here the communication in early life. You've always felt blessed. You've always felt that there's opportunity. As throughout your life, you may have really been in this energy where you are willing to accept challenges, and then you have the possibilities and you're successful, and that's why this has come to you. You're someone who understands hard work and also smart work. So you're someone that loves to tackle new projects. This is very much the energy of the King of Wands that you're in. This is about creativity, romance, and children. So in this position, I mean, this is someone that, yes, it would be wonderful to be in a romance with this person, have children with them, and work on your life together, and perhaps that's where you are. But we have, for whatever reason, this energy, and then we have this, the daily routines and habits changing, because somebody has been maybe having, you know, stepping outside, or their morals are crossed here, something's going on. So let's take a look. When we go to the external forces, we have ultimate fulfillment. So this is really interesting. This could be that you're not in a couple and you're just walking away from something, but it doesn't really make sense to me. Why would you be walking away from all these opportunities and this relationship when the external forces are talking about ultimate fulfillment? Now, this is saying that you have the most that you could possibly have in a perfectly imperfect world. So what is the underlying force here? What's this about? Let's see if there's some external forces that come in. So we have the star energy coming in. Now this is, okay, so the star energy is representing someone who's in their energy of what they were put on the earth to do. And so this is talking about being in alignment with your destined path. And as long as you're in alignment with your destined path, then it means that you have the ultimate fulfillment. Now, sometimes this can be walking away from something that you love to do or be, and not a romantic partner, which could be the case, because it looks like here we still have that energy. Maybe this is talking about walking away from the work you love to be able to be in this position, or not working as hard as you used to because you've met someone and you would rather have time to spend with them. Now that would make sense, but there may have been what caused this, that it is this. Now this sometimes can be enlightenment, so it doesn't have to be a bad thing. This could be something that you were in a situation where this sometimes can represent like boredom. You know, like Groundhog Day energy, where you're constantly doing the same thing day after day, the same old routine, kind of like this energy. multitasking, busy, constantly working, doing, like that's the energy I'm picking up, working on something. And maybe you've gotten to the point now, the star represents someone who's on their destined path, following their North Star. They've put their energy into the universe and poured themselves into this energy and then brought that onto Earth. This represents 5 streams here, and this energy is talking about the 5 points on the pentacle. So maybe you feel like you've reached the ultimate in your work, and now you want to focus on rounding it out with someone that you really could be with and be happy with. So that makes sense, and because this star energy is in the place of the your commitment, your marriage, and partnerships. So that's the kind of energy that is in. So this would actually be a good reality check then, if it was something where you decided, okay, you know what? I've been working and I've accomplished so much in my work life. Maybe you haven't had as satisfying as overall in your love life kind of energy. Maybe you've never found someone that you just really wanted to settle down with, and for the first time you have. It's that kind of energy. So yes, and we have this as a reward. Like the pentacles are, and the lifestyle are a reward from the universe because you followed your destined path, and whatever you've been working on, you have put that into being. Like it's solid here. But you're walking, you might be walking away. The one thing that isn't working could be your love life. And so you're satisfied with everything else in your life, but you're not satisfied with your love life. Okay, now we're starting to understand a little bit better. You want the Empress in your love life. So the Empress represents the energy of all 4 queens rolled into one person, like the qualities of the, and we don't have any queens here, we have just a lone king energy here. So the Empress energy is representing all 4 queens rolled into one. So we have the Queen of Cups, which is all about unconditional love and being in a position of someone who really is ready for love, wants to get married and have children kind of energy. This is representing, sometimes it can represent pregnancy. Also, we have the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, who is very resourceful, and you can count on her. She understands how to, handle money. And she is also someone that is, you can count on her. She can make something out of nothing. She's admired for being resourceful. And also, it talks about a lot of money, like someone that is capable of manifesting the coin at a very high rate. We have the Queen of Wands, who is very sexy and a natural beauty, and uses her intuition and her logic to come to creative solutions. So she's not a worrywart. She's just someone that finds creative solutions, on a daily basis. And then we have the Queen of Swords, who has learned the art of discernment. She's been there, done that, and has bought the t-shirt, and she does not want any more bullshit in her life. So you can count on her that she's not playing around, that kind of energy. So this is starting to make sense, that, okay, this is your higher learning, that you've learned that, like, what you want in your life is someone that is actually an Empress. All right, so let's see here. You were sabotaged. Okay, this is talking about being really badly sabotaged by someone that maybe you thought was the perfect person, and then this tower hit. And you found out that in the background, while all of this was going on and you thought everything was all hunky-dory-o, this person was sabotaging you, and it was very calculated. This can also talk about being sabotaged over a period of like 10 years or a decade. And it can also talk about 10 different people being involved, or 10 different groups. But I feel like your lover was involved in this energy in some way, and you were left here. This is calculated energy to take you down, like to the ground. How can we, you know, and this energy, and this is talking like eclipse energy, where we have the dark and then we have the light. Normally I get into that part of the reading right away, but I want to continue with this because I didn't have an understanding of what's going on. But now I do. I feel like someone that you thought you had the perfect life with, that you were hard at work and you thought they were this partner, has been sabotaging you behind your back with a bunch of people. And it's not good. You're laying down on the ground. They were doing everything they could to get you in this position. And the only good thing about this is that there's his hand is in the form of a blessing here. And so this blessing is actually talking about how a blessing in disguise, because this is the same hand form that the Hierophant has, and the Hierophant is the one that brings justice in from the spiritual realm down to the physical. And this can talk about legalities in court, etc. And so this is talking about, in the end, this could be a blessing in disguise. Very interesting energy. We have external forces. Oh, okay, so whoops, I accidentally, this is what this one was supposed to be. Judgment is being called. And the judgment is coming from the Most High, from God Himself. This is like, you've been hard at work and these people have been, your partner apparently has been sabotaging you the whole time. And you thought that they were the perfect partner for you, that they were supportive of your energy. This is talking about judgment being called down from God, and the ancestors coming up out of their boxes because they're so thrilled. Finally, their descendants are going to get some sort of justice here. And this is the energy coming of them coming out of the box like this can represent skeletons coming out of the closet, and also Pandora's box being open, like something is going on here and needs to be dealt with, like and this is talking about in a court of law, as well as on the spiritual. Court is in session on the spiritual side. This is the external forces of carrying burdens of other people that you didn't know you were carrying, even possibly. If you were in this energy and you felt everything was like going really well for the first time in a long time, and then find out that in actual fact, the whole time that you've been in this energy, the people that you've been working with, the people that you've been counting on, the ones that are in your inner circle, they have been behind your back trying to take you down. And this energy is talking about the burdens that you're carrying. Like, this normally would be all the actions that you have taken and the actions of others, and you're bringing in the harvest here. But instead, this has become a huge burden, and you're just trying to get home with it so you can sort it out and see what can be salvaged here. That's the energy I'm picking up. This is like a real major kaboom, like something really has happened in your life. I'm going to explain this a little bit from an astrological point of view. What we have happening here is this energy is talking about really accomplishing something major and thinking that you're doing it with the people that have your back. And instead of having your back the whole time, they've been like behind your back. They've been juggling. Like, they don't even, this energy doesn't want to come out. So you notice on this card what you're walking away from, or they're walking away from you and leaving you at the very worst time that they possibly could. And this is and maybe have set you up also, because this is the energy of the full moon and the new moon. On the 17th of February, we had a new moon in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius energy opposes the Leo energy on the wheel of the horoscope. So the Aquarius energy is all about, you have to do what's best for the group. You have to do what's best for all the people in the group. You know, it's being a leader that you put the people first. But the Leo energy was yelling, saying, you have to look after yourself. You have to look after yourself, because you are, like, there's something really major happening here and you need to see this, but you can't, but you don't see it. And so the tower has to hit so you can see it, basically. And so on that 17th of February, we had the new moon going through this energy with Leo and Aquarius, and it was very loud. And actually that started on February 1st, when the moon was a full moon, and it was in the sign of Leo, and Aquarius was opposing it. So this has been going on since the beginning of the month, this energy. Then on top of that, on the 17th, we had the very first day of the Chinese New Year, and that we moved from the year of the snake into the year of the horse. So that meant the snake is shedding its skin for the last time, but the snake is still a snake. And even when it sheds its skin, remember, it still has it's still a snake. And the energy is talking about moving into the fire horse energy, which is very in line with this kind of Sagittarian or Leo, Aries energy. This is about the element of fire and people who love to take action and do things. And so this energy, the fiery horse energy, is most like the Sagittarius energy, the centaur. You know, and it's free-spirited, passionate, a lot of love, you know, like heartfelt love in matters of love, and really putting your heart in it. And this is also talking about how you are with your work. And it's talking about setting very, very high goals, and barely, like, it's a miracle that you achieved what you did, because you set out to achieve such a high goal, and yet you've done it. And, you know, you're like in this point where you should be celebrating. But the thing is, with this energy of the fiery horse energy, it can be very impulsive energy, and people can do impulsive things. And what happens is then it can be like a horse that gets spooked and it gets the bit in its mouth. Like when you're riding a horse, the inside corners of its mouth are very sensitive. So the bit, the pressure on the reins controls the horse. If the horse gets spooked and grabs the bit in its teeth and clomps down on that, it can run for miles, and all you can do is hang on for dear life and hope you don't, you know, that it doesn't run into traffic or a total disaster. And it can go so far, so fast, that you can be miles away from where you need to be. And so it's the most dangerous energy for the fire horse energy is going too fast and burning yourself out. And then also having this energy of being impulsive, like hot-tempered or whatever, and you know, like it all blows up like here. And so on top of that, we had an eclipse on that day. Now the eclipse is in, you know, was regarding this energy of this back and forth of the Leo and the group and the needs, your needs, opposed to everybody else's needs. And so this was a solar eclipse, and the sun was blocked out for a short period of time, and that made it even more hidden and more secretive. And this energy of the eclipses has a tendency to be life-changing. And this was kind of like a real difficult one, because when the sun's blocked out for even a short period of time, it's psychologically very challenging for people. The energy drops significantly, and it feels like kind of murky and secretive. And so this energy isn't usually, it doesn't necessarily have to be sudden like this, but it kind of is something that can be very life-changing, that changes over a matter of like about, you know, 6 months. And so that was just like on the 17th. Now on March 3rd, we have this energy going into the March 3rd energy. We have a full moon, and the full moon is actually in Virgo. Now Virgo energy wants you to get everything organized in your domestic life. Make sure everything's lined up perfectly. So in your domestic life supports your work life, and your work life supports your domestic life, this energy here. And so this is talking about getting all your ducks in a row. Virgo is very analytical critique energy. If you ever want some analytical critique, ask a Virgo. Virgo will be able to really produce that for you. The problem with the Virgo energy is they're such perfectionists that it tends to put people in a position where the analytical criticism becomes analytical critique becomes anal criticism, and they cross the line. And they first and foremost will do that with themselves, but then they'll do that with others. They themselves are used to being treated like that because that's how they treat themselves. But you may not have enjoyed that very much, and this could have caused like the boom, kaboom energy. And so this is talking about this energy coming in right now. This is also, there's an eclipse on the 3rd with this Virgo energy of wanting to get things in order in your domestic life so that it supports your work life and everything else that you do. And so on top of this energy, there's an eclipse again. And this time the eclipse is a lunar eclipse. And it's like a lunar eclipse means that the sun is blocked out and all the rest of the hidden energy comes out. And so that's the energy that we're in right now. Today is the last day of February, and we're moving in, like in 3 days we're going to have this full moon, and we can feel it. It's pulling on us. We have all this energy coming in from the Epstein files, finding out all about all this stuff that's been going on at the top, all this energy, and that trickles down into the average person's life. You're not average, you're a star. But I mean it from the point of perspective, like if you're not running a country or whatever, these people at the very top of the pile that are running countries in that are being brought down to be scrutinized in this energy when their names have appeared in these files. And so it's like, this is not a good time, because on top of everything else, Mercury on the 26th of February, just a few days ago, Mercury went into retrograde, and Mercury is responsible for communication, and Mercury rules over the Virgo energy. So Virgos are really feeling this right now, and everybody else is too, though, because the moon is about clean it up. And cleanliness is next to godliness. If you're not on your godly designed path, you're going to feel it. It's going to hit like a wallop. So this energy is, communication can be very, disconnected, and it can also talk about technology going wrong. For instance, the reason I'm late with my readings, like I wanted to have this done this morning, but all week I was dealing with technical problems and other problems of communication, and I was like, oh, it's this, this Mercury retrograde, and I do my best just to put that out, yeah, whatever. But this energy will bring up shift from your past, and it will make you have to look at it. That's the kind of energy. And so quite often people from your past will come in, or things that people have done in the past that you thought were over, and all of a sudden they're brought up again. Or people from the past come in and they want to be back with you. That kind of energy, they stir the pot. And so let's take a look at this. I'm going to clarify it. For those of you who go, oh no, I know exactly what's going on and I'm good here, then I just, thank you for your time, and please do give it a like and comment if you receive benefit, and I will go on to clarify it for you if you want further clarification. I want further clarification. Remember, this is an energy, this is happening on a global level, not just to you, Virgo, but your Virgo energy is really feeling it. And the Pisces energy, which is opposing you on the sign, Pisces energy is really feeling it as well. And okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about that, because this is what this reading is about, the astrological influences. So on top of that, in Neptune, which is a very big planet, has been moved from the sign of Pisces into the sign of Aries. After 14 years of being in Pisces. And Neptune is about our idealistic nature, like how idealistic are we? And Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Saturn energy. It's the senior executive of the universe, or of the zodiac symbols. Like, it's the final symbol. And then the Aries energy that it's moving into is like a newborn baby. You think about a newborn baby, how much a newborn baby has to learn. That's the energy we're in, about our idealism and our structure of how do we approach life. And this energy was like in Pisces for the last 14 years. It's been like, oh, things will work out. It's more optimistic and dreamy, and my plans will work. It always works out in the end kind of energy. And, you have to have faith in people, and everybody has, you got to give them a second chance sometimes. That kind of energy, done. We're now in Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is much more aggressive. And you think about a newborn baby, all that they have to learn, even in the first year alone here. And that's where we are. This baby's just been born. So everything about how you are approaching, like with a more idealistic nature when it comes to people and the energy around you, we're seeing this played out in the world. Like, oh, the rulers wouldn't do that. They wouldn't get it. All of this energy out there, this is ridiculous. It must be a conspiracy theory. and then bang. So some of us have been sort of seeing this coming from down the pike for quite some time now, and others are totally being shocked by it. So this is actually a major reality check for the whole world, not just for you, Virgo. Everybody's feeling this, but Pisces is feeling it a lot because they're opposite of you. And the Pisces energy is wanting to be all idealistic, and I liked it when Neptune and Saturn were in my sign. I was comfortable when, you know, they were supporting my energy. Now it's in Aries, and that's a whole new ball of wax. Now you think for the next 14 years of a baby growing up, that's basically like how the energy that we're in. You know, it's going to take us some time to get used to this new energy and learn how to navigate through it. And just when we learn how at 14, it'll be time to go to work, and we'll be in a new energy with Neptune. Having said that, Saturn also just moved in to join Neptune in the sign of Aries, and will be there for the next 2.5 years or so. So it's really intense, because the energy of Saturn is, you know, get your shit together, get that bookwork done. It's income tax season. Make sure that paperwork is correct. Make sure that you have enough, you know, that your business is running perfectly. Get to work. Get that done. You're responsible here. You're the one who has to make sure all this gets done. It's that kind of energy. And it's very intense. I can just feel it right now. So with the eclipses, one thing, I'm going to clarify this now. And what's interesting is this oracle that I started, Tales from the Vector. It's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And at some point, I'll tell the story of how that happened, but that's kind of a long story. But in 2007 is when I started this oracle, and I finished completing all the paintings in 2020. At that time was when, you know, the mandates were here in Canada, and it basically ended my career of teaching seminars for 2 years. And a bunch of other shift happened, like how life does. And so here I am now bringing this out. And I am working on the book that goes with it. All the paintings are done. I completed the 64th painting in 2020. So the energy that was a disaster kind of for my business of teaching seminars, I had to cancel everything for 2 years. Well, by then all the marketing is kaput, and, you know, people have moved on, and you'd have to start all over again. That energy, instead, I put that into finishing the last of the paintings. And these are really big paintings. A lot of them are 3 feet by 4 feet with intricate detail in them, and a lot of information painted in them. So I had a lot of fun doing it, but I finally completed the last painting, but then I was busy with all the other energy that was coming in. At this point now, and I am in a position where I am completing it, and I'm ready to print the cards out, but I want to gather the information. So that's what I'm doing here. So the cards that I have here represent the paintings in the order that they are in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And so this energy is, I will, in the description box below, I will put the numbers of the paintings as they appear in this reading. So if you want, you can look them up. All that information is in the description box below. Now, the interesting thing is when I was looking up these eclipses, in 2007, on March 3rd, there was almost identical energy to this astrologically. And so that energy is kind of being like, if you go back, think what was going on for you in 2007 in March. That energy is, might give you some real big insight, because that's when I started this oracle. And look, now is when I'm finishing it. There is also 2 other dates that are very similar to this energy that we are dealing with for the next 6 months here. It's subtle. Remember that the energy of the eclipses, it's kind of like catches up to you day by day kind of energy. And so in 1980, what were you doing in 1980 at this time of year? That could give you some insight. I had gone on a 4-month trip to go backpacking across Australia. And I ended up staying for a year and a half. I loved Australia. And that sort of started off my love of traveling. Like in those days, you could backpack and you could just work. You could get a working visa where you could just work for, you know, at the pubs and that. And I was very good at grooming dogs, so I ended up landing a position where I could come back and forth and work part-time for them. And you had to leave the country and come back in. I think you had to leave for 2 or 3 weeks. So I went to Bali and, you know, enjoyed myself there, came back into Australia, and I got to stay another 9 months. I actually left on the very last day of my visa, and we had plane problems, so I got to stay an extra day. That's how much I didn't want to leave. But I love it. It brought about my love of travel. It was a major life-changing event. Just as starting this oracle has been a major life, because I've poured since 2007 almost 2 decades of energy into this oracle and the information and gathering and traveling around the world to, hey, what is this really about? And so also in 1988, the energy then was very similar in the spring then. What was going on in your life then? In 1988, it was my last single year. By 1990, I was married with a baby. So it's talking about these major changes, and I'm just pointing this out to you because when I looked it up for myself, I was like, wow, bring it on. Like, you know, moving into a new energy like that was exciting for me. I am like, so I feel like these eclipses, it's very challenging. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very challenging, but at the same time, if you look into it, you may find that, oh, it might give you some direction as to what's going on in your life now and why this is happening if you look back at those dates. So, yeah. This is really, really intense energy, but it can be really, I don't know if there's such a thing as a real beautiful, soft eclipses, but it calmed me down right away. It's not that it's still just as challenging, and the shift that happened was shifty. But having said that it really gave me a lot of hope, and that's why I really wanted to do these bonus readings and just let people know of my experience in that, in case it could uplift you and bring, you know, like have you realize, hey, this is not going, if it's a very challenging time for you right now, and that would be that energy that you're in is very challenging. It you know, challenges our possibilities in disguise, and this is going to bring in some really beautiful shift. Like this could be a blessing in disguise. And then look, we have the first card out is the moon, and so this is talking reckless abandon, WRCEK. So if you can discipline your mind and start to see like maybe there's something really beneficial in this, and this is a really good shift, then you could be in this position of it being like not a total disaster and being down and out like this. We have the Hermit energy. So this is talking about you were so busy working, doing your thing, that the tower had to hit so that you would stop, so that you would take a look. So traditionally the Hermit goes to the top of the mountain, isolates themselves, meditates and prays, and gets information from source about their North Star, and and then when they have that information, then they come down the mountain and implement it on Earth. In my oracle, the energy of the Hermit is the Journeyman card, and it's a hawk-like dragon that is fearless, flying through the night, looking at the dark so that he can have an understanding. It's like exactly this energy we're talking about. And it's a baby dragon, but the baby dragons always in my oracle have an angel that goes with them. And this angel is a First Nations angel. So it's actually the location of this painting is Winnipeg, Manitoba. And there's a totem pole, but the totem pole is from a different time and zone, and it actually represents there's the 3 monkeys, see no ego, hear no ego, speak no ego. And the lantern is represented by the aurora borealis, which is a phenomena of the beautiful, when the sky lights up under particular conditions, and all the lights of of the aurora borealis are representing all the beauty in life. So I feel like this is Wow, this is a really good reading for everybody, but in particular, if you have a Virgo partner, or you had a Virgo partner, or you are a Virgo, this energy can really say, okay, this is what's going on here, and it can bring some enlightenment to the situation. So this is talking about being in your Empress energy and having all this happening. The Empress energy is talking about, as I said, all the 4 queens rolled into one, manifesting at a very high level. We have the father figure energy coming in, and this is about like kissing you kiss a frog and it turns into a prince. This is about a prince getting kissed and turning into a frog, and we're seeing that happen, being played out right in the monarchy, right before us right now. That is exactly the energy that we're in, where the truth is coming to light, and we're finding out a lot. And a lot of these are people that we're looking up to, like the elites, the people that are running countries in that. For the first time in over 300 years, someone from the English monarchy has actually been arrested. Like, this is like unheard of. And it's happening right now as we speak, and it's shaking up the energy of the monarchy. We have the perception. So this is talking about the grass is greener on the other side, and then you find out it's fake. So this is maybe someone stepping out, being actually behind your back. They've been with other people and you didn't know it. That kind of energy. We have the Cancer energy coming in, talking about, hey, quit thinking and start feeling, so that you can feel through your intuition. And this is talking about the moon. The Cancer energy is ruled by the moon, and how important the moon energy is right now. What we can learn from the Cancer energy represents young girls that are prepubescent, like they're about to start their cycle. And this is the energy of them being very volatilely emotional. If you've ever been a young woman at this age, or you have raised them, you understand this is like the emotions are up and down, because there's all these new hormones, and they're trying to figure out what to do with this energy, and they're developing into young women and having to deal with that. And it can be a real challenging time for young girls. Like, one minute they're crying and the next minute they're happy, that kind of energy. And so also it's talking about the innocence of that time, of these young girls being very vulnerable. And then we have the energy of what's been happening to some of these young girls from people who are in positions of power. Some of the most powerful people in the world being accused of abusing this energy with young women, and making money from it. And so this is all alleged at this time, but there's some information coming out, and now we're starting to see some arrests being made. Having said that, the arrests have been more about misappropriation of money than it has been about this energy. So this is why, with the communication being so up and down here, there's a lot of talk out there, but there's also a lot of information that's incorrect. So it's really, really important right now that you don't get impulsive and run with energy that you don't know, and then you find out the next day that it was all just AI kind of energy. So this is not a good time to be judging other people without having all the facts. Make sure that you take the time right now to make sure that you understand that you have all the facts before you do something impulsive that you regret later. That's the energy that's coming in. And we have, or that we're in right now, because every day there's another more information coming in about these files, and and now we're starting to see justice being handed out in some instances. And as that's happening, more justice will be handed out. So we need to sit back and keep an eye on it and do our research, but not freak out and be tweeting all over the place and then regretting it later. This is talking about having the pride. So the Leo energy is talking about having pride, like this fiery energy. So all or nothing. The Leo energy is very much like, they're the type of people that either their house is immaculate or it's a total mess, but there's no in between. It's that kind of energy. And Leos have, when it comes to their family, they have prides. you know, like lions, that kind of energy. We have the High Priestess energy. Yes, this is talking about use your intuition as well as your logic. The High Priestess sits next to God on the throne, on her own throne, and she is using her intuition to bring that information in that she needs. We have the other external force is ruled by, there's a lot of people that are very angry right now, and there is such a thing as righteous anger. But the thing is about anger is it's something that we, you know, if you hold the anger and you don't do anything with it, it can just sit there and it can go down from one generation to the next generation. And all it does is makes everything more acidic. It doesn't have a point if you don't do something with the anger. The Magician energy, an energetic upgrade for the planet. For you in particular, this energy is coming in to bring out the good work that you have, to have it coming out in a truthful way. So even though at this time, this energy that we're all in and that you are maybe in on a more personal level, this energy is talking about it being in some ways a blessing in disguise. And so don't panic yet. It is going to, you'll looking back at it, you'll say, you know, oh, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. A lot of times people, after a reality check comes in, it might take a year, but you'll be saying, wow, like that was the best thing that ever could happen to me. We have Temperance coming in. Temperance is in your position of transition. So it's saying having the patience, again, as I said, not to jump to conclusions and stay in this energy of being on your devotion, like being devoted to your God-given path and making sure that that's the energy that you're in, not letting that energy be degraded. And this is talking about this Empress energy coming in and being like the Empress energy, being in that place where you can manifest at a very high level. That external forces were doing their best to degrade that energy. And see, that's where you were, and now here it is. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you can be in the Empress energy. It's talking more of the ultimate of feminine energy, and being able to use that energy to really use your intuition at a very high level and your creativity. Then we have the Taurus energy coming in here, and the Taurus energy is sitting on your, this is career, reputation, etc. So these people went hard after your reputation, and there was a big effort put into this, but this is now shifting and the truth is going to come out. So just as the truth is coming out with all these files and some people being accused, in other instances, there's people that were accused that are being like redeemed. And so that's the energy coming in. The Judgment card here, this is talking about the having a good attitude. So, you know, recognizing that only God can really truly judge people, because people, God understands what people have been through from the time they're born, whereas we don't know what other people have been through and what would cause them to behave in the ways that they do. What we can do is, like, if we have all these wishes and we want them to come true, recognize that we have to, you know, you can't just sit there and wait for, oh, I saw a shooting star, so I'm just going to sit here for the rest of my life until the shooting star does everything for me. You have to have a good attitude and move forward with a strong attitude and leave the judgment up to God, but at the same time make strong judgments for yourself in your life. So if your external forces left you like this, there's some major adjustments that you need to make in your lifestyle and in, you know, the people that you have around you. This is talking about the speaking your truth, and harmony coming into being. And this is talking about putting burdens down that don't belong to you, that you are, don't doubt it for a second, Virgo, you are a superstar. And 26 is going to be different from the rest of the years that you've been in this energy. And I feel like your intuition was telling you, hey, there's something going on here, or I'm moving in the wrong direction here, either or. And then you just weren't listening to it. And now we're being forced to listen. You're being forced to listen to it on a more personal level. And that energy is also amplified in the universe at this time. The whole earth is going through that type of energy. in the end, it's going to be a blessing in disguise. So this is, been a really powerful reading. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a like and comment if you have. Consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate. And I will be back with another reading for mid-March, in the next week or so. Bye for now, Virgo.